Hello everyone, this is part 3 of GitHub Spec Kit on real life project, and so we will work on planning and finding the weak parts and our specification, planning and tasks separation. Okay, we've worked on planning and last part, and in that part we've actually made that plan, which is here. I've checked all the plan. Actually, I think this is most important part of our job as an architecture. So we do really need to understand all of that. It's like this is like, I think, plan, and next step, separation by tasks, is really like the focus point where we do really need to understand each part of that. It's not really that much of reading. Usually it wouldn't be like thousands of lines. I checked all of that. It's more or less good. It fits for me, and we can proceed to the next part, which is tasks. By the way, I've tried grab code fast, and it doesn't really work well for me. Still, Sonnet 4.5 is the best, at least for the Copilot. And I think I will start the commit one by one. Git ignore, committing the git ignore, the launch manager. This is just the contracts, works for me. I've also checked that, and I've also checked that. It's totally worked for me as well. This is where if you're a developer, this is where your skills is actually needed. If you're not a developer, this will be a lucky shot if it will work everything from the first time without the compile errors. Yeah, the compile errors will happen even with the if we are using the SpecKit. Done. Okay, and now we are checking what's happening in here. So I think it's not in the memory, at least not in a short-term memory, and that is why it's reading all of it's running the script, which is checking the prerequisites for the task separation step, and in order of that it has to understand the context of the plan and specification. That's why it brought those files as well as basically all the files it's created. Totally makes sense. And now we will have it will start working on separation by chunks, which will be understood by the AI. I mean, of course, if we are given a huge prompt, it will use some all of its limits. If you don't have a paid model or it's just like a pro or plus on even on codecs and even on cloud code. The huge prompt will not be working fine. The huge prompt will work fine if you will have max subscription. For cloud code, max subscription starts from $100. For codecs, it's $200 monthly, and then the context window will be way bigger for your agent, and the huge prompt will work a little better in this case, but it's still no matter how context window is huge and how much money you pay for the subscription, still there's gonna be a problem, unfortunately, with that it will have far too much of compilers and far too much of issues, and it will be really hard to make the prompt which is good enough for all of the edge cases, for explaining everything. It's more than likely. I think I would say that it's very more than likely that even using the best models and possible without the tools like GitHub Spec Kit for implementing really complicated feature, especially for an enterprise project, isn't leading to the result you expect. And what we are doing is what's just happened, that on this step we've created by executing the tasks command, we've created the doc tasks.md, which has all of the tasks, and each task will be only a small chunk of work to do, which any AI with any even small context window will able to do. This is an important point, and you will able to check it part by part. So basically, while implementation, of course, that would be clear why it's so cool later. Okay, so I will recheck it quickly. It's this 400 lines of code. What do we see here? It added several user stories. It approximately created several phases, updating the packages, updating the pod spec for the CocoaPod. Okay, running and creating the folders works for me. Phase 2, the biggest one, creating the DDOs and files, managers with methods, operation trigger. Okay. So good so far. I will really read it in a detailed way after the video, and I will highlight in the start of the video if everything is fine here. And there is a quick way for checking how good the result is. The command, which is SpecKit Analyze. What it will do, it will compare our specification with the plan and the tasks. If all of these parts are how the exact meaning that all of the parts are consistent between each other. That's a very important step before the implementation. Implementation is like the very last step, the longest one, but the last step. So it will read all of that, and if, for example, some of the tasks are not doing the some of the job which we're specified, for example, it will highlight, as well as other inconsistencies. Okay, so let's check a look one more time the result of the task. So it generated 30 implementation tasks. It set the priorities, quality, test case performance, parallelism. It's great. It really works for me. Not only the priority, but it's very clear separation of order. The order is correct as well. Okay, so you see, the analyze really highlighted that it's not exactly ready for implementation. It's okay, but we should improve. We should improve. Let's take a look what we really should improve. So critical findings, that constitution, principle 3. Okay. In usually principle 3 of so it's a contradiction between our tasks and the constitution. In phase 3 constitution, it says that that the framework works only synchronously, one UI test after another. This is actually the not exactly what we want to have in this framework. And our task, like our feature we are implementing, is to make these to be in parallel. So we are adding multi-threading, a parallelism, and it contradicts the constitution. I guess it's one of the cases where we are able to actually change the constitution, and it will be totally fine. What is... I think this issue isn't critical. We will find out that while we're testing how much devices really can be tested while parallel testing. We will adjust then. It's not possible to know that now. So I don't think this is a critical issue as well. But it's good that it's highlighted. I mean, it's doing the job. Okay, I think I will read it in a really detailed way, each of them after the video, and check every of that points, each of that points, and we'll highlight that next video, which will be the implementation. Probably it will be the longest video, even if I will have like 2x speed or 3x speed. Currently we are so it's actually asking us to do something, and after I will highlight it at the start of the next video. So now we understand how to create tasks from our plan and check the consistency between specification, plan, and tasks. So it's it's a kind of this analyze, by the way. In another word, it's a kind of quality assurance even before the implementation starts. I think it's really cool. So thank you for your attention and see you next video.